The day Tesla unveiled the new Model 2 battery wasn't just another technological milestone. It was a quiet, pivotal turning point, the kind that redefines decades without most people immediately realizing it. The automotive industry, accustomed to incremental evolution, was forced to confront a disruption so profound that its very foundations shook. While many still believed the primary issue with electric cars was range, Tesla highlighted a far more significant problem. The real obstacle had always been the battery. It was expensive, fragile, flammable, and a source of deep-seated fears in every buyer's mind. But on that stage, when Elon Musk smiled before announcing the upcoming innovation, it became clear that something major was about to happen. The era of batteries as a source of fear was drawing to a close. On the street, in online forums, in cafes, a deep-seated apprehension persisted. What if the battery fails one day? A very real fear, based on lived experience. Replacing a battery could cost nearly half the price of a car, and stories of sudden breakdowns or fires regularly made headlines. Consumers, both anxious and wary, viewed electric vehicles with cautious admiration. It was a leap into the future, but with a dark cloud hanging over it. Tesla knew this. The company knew that the transition wouldn't be complete as long as the vehicle's core remained fragile, and it was by exploiting this vulnerability that it paved the way for the greatest technological advancement of recent years. Meanwhile, lithium was becoming a paradoxical symbol both of hope and of concern. Dubbed white gold, it was seen as the key to a sustainable world, but its acquisition generated a series of negative consequences. Scarcity drove up its price. Geopolitical tensions exacerbated the difficulties associated with its production, and the environment suffered the consequences of its extraction. Global dependence on China for refining and production created a vulnerability that was difficult to ignore, and Elon Musk, in one of his speeches, was direct. The demand for electric cars was not the problem. The problem lay in the sufficient production of batteries. It was clear that civilization was demanding an alternative, abundant, safe, and far cleaner energy. It was then that Tesla achieved the unexpected. He replaced lithium with aluminum. He not only changed the element itself, but he reinvented the battery from the ground up. The chemistry, previously based on flammable liquid electrolytes, gave way to a solid electrolyte that completely eliminated the risk of sudden ignition. Aluminum, abundant in the Earth's crust, inexpensive, easy to extract, and available worldwide, abolished all essential geopolitical dependencies. For the first time, the revolution ceased to be purely technological and became ethical and environmental as well. Tesla was announcing, without explicitly stating it, that the future would no longer require exploiting fragile reserves or depending on unstable monopolies. For years, videos of electric cars catching fire circulated widely, fueling collective fear. Despite numerous statistics proving their rarity, the emotional impact was devastating. The lithium battery, with its flammable electrolyte, could overheat without warning. Accelerated degradation was also a source of anxiety for owners, who watched their range diminish year after year, like an inexorable hourglass. But Tesla's aluminum battery changed everything. Thanks to its solid electrolyte, the risk of combustion was virtually eliminated. Moreover, its projected 50-year lifespan allayed concerns about wear and tear and replacement. It was the first time an electric car had been designed to accompany a family throughout its entire life. The unveiling of the Model 2 allowed the public to understand that it wasn't simply a car, but a direct response to consumers' biggest fears. Thanks to a battery with a range equivalent to 5 years of human life, the vehicle became much more than just a means of transportation, a true investment. Tesla wasn't simply saying, "Buy this car." The brand was asserting, "You'll never have to worry about batteries again." And this kind of promise, supported by real-world data and testing, has the power to disrupt global paradigms. In remote regions of South America, lithium mining consumes millions of liters of water per ton. Entire communities face drought, conflict, and extreme environmental conditions. When this fact was revealed during the presentation, it wasn't an attack, but a warning. Tesla was demonstrating that there was a cleaner, more abundant, and less destructive path. Aluminum didn't require such environmental sacrifices, let alone social ones. Producing batteries without harming ecosystems or endangering populations wasn't just a technological choice. It was a moral one. Faced with the explosion in demand for electric vehicles, reliance on lithium proved unsustainable. The world needed a scalable, abundant, and accessible solution. Aluminum, ubiquitous on the planet, was the ideal candidate. Initial tests of the Model 2 revealed results that had seemed impossible just a few years earlier. Lifespans dozens of times longer, exceptional thermal stability, and resistance enabling ultra-fast charging without wear. The entire industry then realized it was witnessing the birth of an entirely new standard. Even more impressive was the revelation that Tesla had equipped its batteries with a self-repairing system powered by reactive nanoparticles. Imagine a battery capable of repairing its internal microcracks, restoring its structure, and preventing any degradation even after thousands of complete cycles. This meant that what was once inevitable, the gradual loss of capacity, could now be stabilized. In tests covering 12,000 cycles, the equivalent of a lifetime of travel, the batteries still retained 95% of their initial capacity, a result that left engineers perplexed and competitors speechless. The charging time announcement stunned the public. 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go from 0 to 100%. Faster than filling up a gasoline car. Faster than the time it takes to wash your hands, order a coffee, or wait for a traffic light to turn green. It was a real blow to the preconceived notion that electric cars were impractical. Moreover, the fire resistance tests revealed an even more impressive fact. While lithium batteries collapsed in less than 15 seconds under the direct effect of flames, the aluminum battery remained stable for 90 seconds. The safety margin was thus 6 times greater. Regarding range, the final figure, 861 kilometers, was not only technical, but also symbolic. It was the distance that finally placed electric cars above internal combustion engine vehicles in terms of reliability and freedom. Owners no longer needed to plan their journeys down to the millimeter, fear the cold, or endure long waits. Moreover, the battery retained this range even after decades of use, thus dispelling the specter of degradation that had so haunted consumers. This new technology isn't limited to the Model 2. Tesla has announced that the aluminum battery will also be used in Powerwalls and Megapacks, essential systems for the future of global energy. This will allow homes, buildings, and entire cities to be powered by stable, safe, and sustainable energy. No risk of fire, no complex cooling systems, no dependence on fossil fuels. The automotive revolution is directly linked to the energy revolution. The memory effect, the bane of so many older batteries, is simply non-existent in these new cells. Self-repair prevents the formation of internal deposits, thus preserving performance even in extreme environments. From the Alaskan ice to the Sahara's heat, tests have demonstrated exemplary stability. This was not just a battery, but a cutting-edge technological system, capable of maintaining its performance where any other battery would fail. When Tesla unveiled its new sodium-ion battery models, the economic impact became even more apparent. Batteries costing $80–90 per kilowatt, using simple materials like table salt and iron, were unimaginable just a few years ago. The cost reduction was so dramatic that analysts estimated Tesla's annual savings at nearly $100 billion. This paved the way for what Elon Musk had always envisioned, a truly affordable Tesla for under $15,000. But another crucial point proved essential: ethical sustainability. Abandoning controversial metals like cobalt and nickel addressed one of the main criticisms leveled against the sector. Child labor disappeared from the Congo, as did the environmental devastation associated with mining these materials. It was a moment when technology and responsibility could finally go hand in hand, without compromising performance or production scale. The new sodium-aluminum production chain also symbolized geopolitical freedom. No more centralized refineries in a single country, no more monopolies, and no more international tensions that could paralyze an entire industry. Sodium is ubiquitous, in the oceans, in mountain salts, in the subsoil of every continent. It has thus become the foundation of a new global energy independence. The final impact on the consumer was considerable: less maintenance, less wear and tear, less worry, and lower expenses. An electric vehicle was already more economical than a car with an internal combustion engine, but it now became almost impossible to justify the use of gasoline or diesel. Over 15 years, a Model 2 could save up to $60,000 in fuel, maintenance, and insurance. It was a car that paid for itself. This change would force competitors to rethink everything. Traditional automakers, trapped by outdated structures and exorbitant prices, now saw Tesla offering models between $15,000 and $19,000, while electric BMWs and Mercedes exceeded $100,000. It was like watching a house of cards sway in an unexpected gust of wind. The revolution would be merciless to those who stubbornly clung to the past. With its new models equipped with sodium batteries, Tesla was pushing the boundaries. The Model 2, with its base range of 56 kilometers and a price under $20,000, was poised to become the mass-market car of this new era. The Model 3 and Model Y would reach 1,050 kilometers. The Cybertruck, 1,127 kilometers, and the Semi, impressively, could travel up to 3.2 million kilometers. It was as if Tesla was redefining the very notion of range. Energy infrastructure was also poised for a historic leap forward. Sodium batteries costing $50 per kilowatt would enable the creation of entire networks of clean, decentralized, and inexpensive energy. Schools, hospitals, and isolated towns could finally operate without fear of power outages. Stable, sustainable, and democratic energy was becoming a tangible reality. Eventually, electric vehicles will cease to be a luxury or niche product. The Model 2, in particular, will play a pivotal role in this transformation, offering unprecedented prices and technology previously reserved for laboratories. And, gradually, consumers will understand that they are not just buying a car, but an energy asset that will reduce their expenses throughout its entire life cycle. This new battery has revolutionized car ownership. A car that lasts 50 years is no longer just a means of transportation, it's an heirloom. Families could pass their cars down from generation to generation. Vehicles could serve as mini power plants, storing energy, sharing it with neighbors, and selling the surplus back to the grid. The car would stop consuming energy and start producing it. This vision of the future depicted a smart, integrated ecosystem. In an emergency, the car could power an entire house. During periods of abundant solar energy, it could generate revenue by selling the surplus. Tesla offered much more than just a car model. It proposed a redefinition of the relationship between individuals and energy. The underlying production chain was equally revolutionary. Abundant, recyclable, and environmentally friendly materials replaced rare and toxic metals. Both the planet and society benefited. This was progress that not only propels a company forward, but transforms civilizations. Ultimately, it became clear that Tesla was no longer competing with traditional automakers. It was competing with humanity's past. It was creating a new paradigm for transportation, energy, and technology. And when the curtain fell on this event, no one emerged unscathed, because at that precise moment, the revolution ceased to be a promise and became a reality. We are witnessing the dawn of a new era, an era where batteries don't wear out, degrade, enslave nations, or empty consumers' wallets. An era where the electric car is, finally, superior in every way to any combustion engine. Tesla has initiated an irreversible revolution, and the Model 2 is the spark that ignites this global shift. If you want to follow every step of this historic transformation, now is the time. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and come explore with me the future that has already begun.